Hi, everybody. Welcome to Financial Literacy class. Today, we are going to work on lesson 3, which is an introduction to vocabulary that we will be using throughout this class. Financial literacy is the understanding of money, how it's used and exchanged for goods and services. When we understand financial literacy, we can make a financial plan for ourselves. That means that we know what we have coming in as far as finances go and what we take out in expenses. So let's get started with this vocabulary. There are 3 key components of financial literacy that we're going to be talking about today. They all revolve around money. The first one we're going to talk about is earnings. Earnings is the payment you receive for work. Now, when you work, you get a paycheck. That paycheck represents what you have left over after taxes and other expenditures have been taken out. So when you get your paycheck, your salary is actually higher than what you're taking home. That's called your net earnings. Your gross earnings is the amount that you actually receive before taxes and everything else is taken out. It doesn't seem right because you're spending your money before you even get it, but that's how it works. So your earnings include the cash and benefits you receive from your employer. From that big amount, the gross earnings, generally employers will withhold things like federal income tax, state income tax, Social Security tax, unemployment tax. So all these taxes are taken out and you get less money than you had before. That's your net earnings. That's what you have to spend after everything else is done. Now, expenses are the costs of things that you buy. You buy things that you need. An expense is something you spend your money on, and sometimes that expense is a need, sometimes it's a want. When we talk about needs are the things that we absolutely have to have in order to live. We need food, we need water, we need shelter, we need clothing. Those are needs. But there's also things that we want. The wants are the things that we desire but don't need to live. For example, spending money on a big fancy dinner, going out to a fancy restaurant. We're eating food that we need. However, we don't have to do it at that expense. It's a want at that point. Also, wants are things like big vacations, cruises, things that we don't have to live, but they make us happier. So an expense is something you need. And then once you think about these expenses, you have to understand that there are different types of expenses. Some are needs, some are wants. And then there's savings. Savings is the amount of money that you take after you've paid all the things you need, all of your expenses, and you save a little bit and put it away for use later. Sometimes savings are for big things and sometimes they're for little things or just to have a safety net. Sometimes people save for purchases they want to make, like when you first get out of college, you want to start saving up to buy a house. Maybe your savings is to have enough money to pay your expenses in case something happens and you're out of work for a while. So savings have different purposes. You have to think about what you're saving for and then make a plan to save for it. All of these ideas, these 3 ideas, we're going to expand upon in subsequent lessons. Right now, I just want you to get a really good feel for the definitions of them and the ideas of having income, expenses, and savings. Have a great day.